Long, floppy, furry ears waved through the air as Leporidities twirled and pranced upon royal red carpet. The young females were scantily clad in thin, colorful scarves and thongs, details which did not go unnoticed by the one who sat in a golden throne. A majestic throne stood at the head of a short staircase that overlooked the Leopardite dancers, and none other than King Salazar lounged upon it. The orange, scaly Lacertile swished his tail with excitement as he twisted his snout into a leer. Golden robes with elaborate red designs struggled to contain the massive king's form. His long tongue flicked out and slimed his reptilian eyes. He was not going to miss his favorite event of the day because of poor vision. Meanwhile, the royal nobles and loyal palace servants watched warily from their positions further within the expansive room. Massive windows stretched across the royal court's perimeter, allowing light to fall on the forms of these elegantly dressed courtiers. A large banquet table rested a short distance behind the Leporidites, filled to the brim with succulent delicacies from all across the realm. 2 courtiers stood nearby at the prepared feast. Both of these citizens were youthful and small, but that's where their similarities ended, for every other aspect of their individualities were polar opposites. One of these 2 had a more striking appearance. She was a black feline clad in a gorgeous red robe. Her youthful compatriot was a fluffy white adversary who wore a spectacular green outfit that was buckled across his waist. The 2 showed no interest in the food, their eyes fixated on the Leporidite dancers and the leering Salazar. However, unlike the king, disgust filled their eyes as they watched the sensual display. The Leporidite dancers were as shameless as they were beautiful, shaking all the right places as they cast mesmerizing gazes upon the king. Salazar seemed to be in another world, his eyes glazing over as drool dripped from his mouth, and he extended his hand, squeezing it closed over the distant vision of a Leporidite posterior shaking back and forth. The black feline issued a low hiss as she turned to her companion, her crimson eyes filled with disgust. "How revolting!" "It truly is," the white adversary whispered. "But keep your voice down. If Salazar hears you." "I kinda hope he does," the feline whispered. "I doubt that fat lizard can fight to save his life. He's such a slob that I bet he needs servants to lift his majesty's royal ass from the throne." "Kitara," the adversary whispered, glancing nervously around the room. The courtiers weren't alone in their attendance of the event. Massive Lacertiles obscured in heavy golden armor maintained watchful positions throughout the area's perimeter. 2 incredibly imposing guards stood beside the king himself, each wielding a giant silver spear. "I know, Lambert," Kitara replied in annoyance. "There are guards everywhere. That's what makes this mission tricky." She flicked her eyes toward the Leporidite dancers. "I won't make a move until Bunny strikes.